And welcome, folks, to episode 41 of the Ministry of Dice podcast. We're a UK-based podcast talking about all things Dice Masters in the UK. I'm Chris, otherwise known as True Mr. Six online, and with me today I have Andy.
AKA Miami Dice.
Miami Dice. Do you roll your sleeves up on your leisure suit jacket?
On my leisure suit jacket, I do indeed. So I've got a neon pink t-shirt underneath.
Yeah, very good. So to keep those arms nice and free for your rolling action.
Keep my free wrists.
Little known fact, actually, for the listeners there, talking about Miami Vice or Miami Dice. Don Johnson is actually a close personal friend of Andy's. So much so, indeed, yeah, so much so that when Don Johnson was looking to make a career comeback, he was kind of asking around his friends who had any ideas as to what he could get involved in and what type of show he could do. And Andy came up with Nash Bridges.
Yeah, it's true.
True story, that, yeah, true story. It was also Andy's idea to involve Cheech Marin.
Well, let's take all the credit.
Mate, you should take all the credit. You did an exceptional job. Nash Bridges is one of those shows that has left such a significant legacy on the history of 42-minute US format crime procedurals. I think you should be very proud of your achievement.
I am. I was also executive producer on Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh, you were you? Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, okay, very good.
If you look back at the credits.
See, without Andy, there'd be no Nash Bridges. Without Nash Bridges, everything we know and love today in television, there'd be no The Wire, there'd be no Breaking Bad, no Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I ran out of good police TV shows. Anyway,
Bones, that's a good one.
Bones?
Yeah.
So did you know that she's the older sister of Emily Deschanel, who's the girlfriend in Elf?
I didn't know that. I do now.
There you go, another little known fact. I just can't stop firing them away. But we are also nearly 3 minutes into the podcast and haven't actually talked about anything Dice Masters.
Oh well.
Oh well. How you doing, my man?
Yeah, not bad at all. You right?
Yeah, I'm all right. Traffic was really bad coming home tonight. There was an accident on the motorway. I'm knackered. I got that weird, when your left leg goes a bit kind of numb and funny from clutching.
Yeah.
Because you're sort of doing that stop-start, bumper-to-bumper thing. Yeah. So I've got a bit of that going on. But otherwise, I'm all right.
We are rolling along without any Dice Masters.
Yeah, we're doing really well. So what have you been up to, my man, since we last spoke?
Right, well, let's go non-Dice Masters related stuff first, just to keep that theme going.
Sure.
Had a massive game of Zombicide this past weekend.
Okay, very good.
Which was awesome. Charging around the streets of Zombieland, trying to get off the other side of the board, and zombies appearing and having to fight them off, and everyone was doing really well until I got caught by a bunch of zombies, so everyone had to trawl their way back across the board to save my ass. But we managed it in the end. Everyone got off the board successfully and alive.
Well
so that
done.
was fun.
Congratulations, team.
Thank you very much. Dice Masters, well, I'm sure we'll talk about it more as we go through the show, but we've been playing our Invitational games.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we'll probably roll them into the community focus that's coming up.
So had I think a couple of them since we last spoke.
Yeah.
No more though. And spoiler alert. What else have we done? It feels like with the Invitational out the way and the MOD PDM out the way, it's all gone a bit more chilled, more relaxed.
Yeah. Well, we need to get back onto our non-blind experiment, don't we? Really?
Yeah. New MOD modern.
Yeah. So we'll get back onto that. Oh, very good. Very good.
Cool. How about you, mate?
So, non-Dice Masters related, let's see. So, me and the hashtag competitive wife did our February run at Pandemic Legacy.
Oh, yeah? How'd that go?
Oh, not very well at all. The game leathered us. Absolutely battered us. So, you get 2 attempts at each month before something happens. I don't really know what happens if you fail your second attempt. So, we'll be squeezing that in the next couple of days. And then with the kids, I played a bit of Sorry, bit of Zombie Dice. Just a couple of lightweight kind of board games. Sorry's pretty old school. It's a bit Toys R Us, but they like it.
That's cool.
Yeah, they like it. Then on the Dice Masters front, so down at the FLGS, we had a go at playing Death Clock. So we played a normal modern constructed, but we had kind of chess clock timer thing going on. I'm not sure I entirely understood what was going on. I just pressed the clock button when I finished my round and Mike, who was sort of running the show, I just let him look after it. But there was some whole thing about if you run out of time. I think it was more about trying to create that kind of pressure, that sort of chess pressure moment of making your decisions quickly.
Yeah, chess pressure.
Yeah, that inability to speak and sounding like I'm talking backwards will become relevant, even more relevant shortly. And then what did we do? That was this week. What was last week? Oh, plants and animals last week was the theme. So your 8 character cards had to be a plant or an animal, basically.
What plant ones are there?
Poison ivy, Groot, tree ant. I'm just naming the ones that were on my team, although I didn't have the tree ant in the end. And then animals. I mean, my team, it was Rocksteady and Bebop I went with as the cornerstones of my team.
Nice.
Yeah. A warthog and a rhino. That was kind of cool. Bit different. Got a few,
it's quite cool.
Dusty cards off the shelf. And next week we're doing Ladies' Night, so all your team's got to be female.
That's what we're doing. Ladies' Night.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So there you go. That's my Dice Masters stuff.
I'll tell you what else I've been doing.
Oh, go on.
I've got quite addicted to is Apex Legends. It's a new battle royale shooter on the PlayStation and also Xbox and PC. And oh my god, it's good.
Apex Legends.
It's an absolute corker. Put a few hours in with my man Rob Shaw. Get myself slaughtered by probably 8 to 12-year-olds. But yeah, really good fun. I'd definitely recommend that if anyone's got a console and thinking about what to play, because that is very addictive.
All right, I'll check that out. Thank you very much.
And
is it a free one? Is it the same model as Fortnite?
Yes, yeah. It's kind of slightly different how they've set it out. It's only just been released. It's only about 4 weeks old. But yeah, it's completely free to play. And you can unlock things. You can also buy kind of different, not upgrades, as in it doesn't affect how you play, but it kind of the look of your weapons and your characters, outfits and stuff like that. But no, really good. Definitely check it out. It's free and it's fun.
Okay, yeah, very good. I'll have a look at that, man. I'll boot the Xbox up. I've been on GTA 5 lately. Or was it GTA 6?
I've lost count of them now.
Yeah, whatever the latest one is, yeah.
I can remember waiting outside a game at midnight for one of them.
That'll have been 4 probably, will it? With Nikolai. Why can't the people in this country learn to drive? He used to say that all the time when I was driving around.
Yeah, I played hours and hours and hours of that. That was a great game.
I got a bit weird about the sound of pigeons cooing.
Then you could shoot them. That was one of the achievements, wasn't it?
Yeah, but then it affected me in real life. I had problems with pigeons.
You end up shooting them. Donning all-in-one Adidas tracksuit. No, you do that anyway. Sorry, what am I talking about?
That reminds me, actually, you mentioned Apex Legends. So the YouTube channel, folks, we're starting to make more frequent posts over there. So the back catalogue is, as we've mentioned before, slowly but surely getting loaded up on there. So keep your eyes out for that. One of the episodes in there, episode 39, I think, we'd really love it if you went and took a look at that and let us know what you thought of the... I don't know what you call it, the place card, the visuals,
No idea, mate. As you can probably guess, we didn't have much of a hand in doing it.
No, we enlisted some support. Thank you, Javier. But also over there, and again, we'll talk about it in more detail down the line, but we've started posting videos of our games that we were playing at the Invitational and plan on doing more game video posts. But also we recorded some special features commentary over the top of a couple of games as well. So not only can you go see the raw game as it was played at the time, but you can also go and get some behind-the-scenes thoughts and insights, and yet more little-known facts from the depths of the True Mr. Six filing cabinet.
Indeed. It's good. Yeah, do subscribe, like, and do whatever else you have to do on YouTube. If we get 1,000, did I tell you? If you get 1,000 subscribers, then we can start making money off of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that'd be handy. It might help me.
I think we're on like 18 at the moment. It's got a way to go. And I'm sure there's 1,000 Dice Masters players, so it might be an uphill struggle. But do subscribe to the channel. Do open up random secondary and third YouTube subscription usernames and subscribe to that as well, because that would help.
Yeah, if we made a little bit of money off it, maybe we can get around to affording you a non-squeaky chair.
The campaign starts here.
Yeah. help me cover the cost of my fibre upgrade and my expensive new webcam.
Oh, we'll have to see if that works, mate.
Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced it's actually made any bit of a difference, but we'll see. We'll test it out later. Yeah, so there we go. That's what's been going on in our world. We haven't had any listener correspondence in the last 2 weeks, have we? Oh, we did. We got a bit of something for it. So, Stu, we got your note about the team build. Keep your ear to the ground. That'll be coming in episode 42 for you.
Yeah. We haven't had a chance to properly ever think about it.
Yeah. I'm not. In fact, one of the cards you named, I had to go and read it. I had no idea what it actually did. I was like, what? What card's this?
He's quite a canny brewer, isn't he?
Yes,
he came up with that. Or is it Orc Knob or Orc Boy continuous loop where you just end up winning?
Yes, that's right. He also did very well in the Team of the Month contest last weekend that the DM North guys run.
One to watch.
Yeah, in fact, him and TJ both got up in the wee hours, our time over here, and competed in that.
3 a.m.
Yeah, so well done, guys. Well done.
Well done, yeah.
So yeah, I think there's not a great deal more to throw in the intro. Should we move on to a bit of community focus action?
Let's do it.
Okay, on to the community focus then, folks.
Oh, we're going to say about what we've got on the show.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we're going to go into a community focus. Just talk about some things that are coming up and some things that have just been, and then we've got a segment. Well, it was supposed to be, I think I say this in the segment, it was supposed to be an update on this campaign box only little experiment that we were testing out.
New, MOD modern.
Yeah, modern. But that's not what the segment really ended up as, is it?
Find out, but keep on listening.
Yeah, keep on listening, but it's, yet again, I'm spilling salt all over the place. And then the final segment is the return of, well, you've been in your Q branch, haven't you, my man? Tinkering away once again, and it's the return of the global reverse collation segment that seemed to be so popular a couple of episodes ago. But with a new twist this time.
Indeed, all will be revealed.
Yeah, we've only recorded half of it so far as well, so I don't know how this segment's going to turn out.
Yeah, just a little bit worrying.
Nah, I'm sure it'll be fine. And that will conclude episode 41. So now, shall we get on with the show?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, over to the community focus then.
This is London calling. Here is the news.
Yes, boys and girls, it's community focus time, and we've got a couple of upcoming events and whatnot to, I don't know, put out there, help promote, share our understanding of. 2? Is it 2? Yeah, that's right, 2.
Yeah, 2.
Well, 2. Well, but one of them's got lots in it, so I suppose that's probably where my head's getting a bit mashed up.
Mash up.
Yeah, well, my head's always mashed up. I think that drive home tonight's really throwing me for 6. I can't seem to get it together today. How's that different to any other day, Chris? Hey! I'll never run out of tea. Oh no, I've got a little bit left. I think it's cold though. Yeah, it's cold.
Some people buy cold tea. You can buy it, can't you?
Yeah, well, you mean like iced tea? Like
iced tea.
Yeah. Lipton's iced tea. My missus drinks that, but it's like a holiday drink. You know when you go to a sunny country?
Like Fanta Limon.
Fanta Limon.
It's like that. You can get it here. No one buys it. As soon as you go to Spain, oh, amazing! Fanta Lemon, around.
And Lipton's iced tea. Bring it on, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway.
Anyway, so where should we start? Should we start with Chris and Rob's game room? Let's start there, shall we?
Yeah, I went to Spain last year. It was nice.
I know you did.
Don't know if I shared it with the listeners.
I don't know. I can't remember.
It's very nice.
Lovely. So, online tournament, this is the 2-team takedown event, the modern 2-team takedown event being run by Chris and Rob's game room. So if you don't know what that is, it's you have 2 teams that are modern constructed, but you cannot have the same card on both teams. So you play 2 different modern constructed teams. But in order to win the round on the best of 3, you need to win with both. So if you win the first round with your first team, then you have to play and win your second round with the second team. But if you lose with that one, you've got to stay on that team, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense?
Yeah, perfectly.
Yeah. So the deadline for sign-ups on that is March the 11th. Online gaming is where it's at. Although sadly, I think I'm going to have to skip this one. I've run out of wife points. I'm going to have to recruit a few more wife points, I think, because it's been sucking up a lot of the Saturday evenings for me, what with time differences and stuff, playing on online games. But if you head on to the Dice Coalition and take a look in their blog section, our man Troy has done a blog post, and that includes a link to the Discord channel where they organise the games and whatnot, and it includes a link to the sign-up sheet, which is a Google Doc where you put your teams in and your details and what have you. So go and take a look at that, folks. And particularly over here in the UK, I was talking to our man Journey over at Chris and Rob's Game Room, and he was saying if there's enough European players, then they'll split the what's the word? You know, the things, the brackets.
Brackets, that's it.
Yeah, so that certainly in the earlier part of the tournament, the time zone difference will have less of an impact to begin with. So I'd certainly want to encourage any UK or European listeners to perhaps get involved in that and help them get the numbers up and represent in it.
Yeah, those brackets always remind me of the end of Karate Kid 1.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. They confuse me, the brackets. I get lost in them a little bit. I kept having to, in the last online tournament, I kept having to post on Discord like, so what's going on now? Where am I at? What am I doing? How far am I in? What round have I made it to? Boggles my head. I can't get my head around it. But head on over to the Dice Coalition blog section and have a look. It's got the details and the links in there. And then the other thing to draw you folks' attention to is the One Big Weekend event that's taking place on or around the 9th/10th of March. So that's a tournament initiative that's being spearheaded by the Rolling Thunder and Dice Masters North crew, although ably assisted by the Ministry of Dice, of course.
Of course.
And the idea here is that as many stores as we can get worldwide, all playing Dice Masters on the same weekend, one big weekend of Dice Masters playing. Prizing's available, so I'd recommend you get in touch with the guys over at Rolling Thunder if you're interested to talk about that. We've got quite a few stores already signed up. We're in on it here in Manchester in the United Kingdom. We've got the Central European crowd have got a couple of events taking place. The Netherlands, Australia are in the mix. Canada, quite a few stores in Canada in the mix. And a good number across the US as well, all getting involved through the week and that weekend. So go and take a look at that. And if you've got a local store and you want to get an event going on, get in touch with one of the guys or get in touch with me and I'll make a introduction through a group messenger service or something so that you can start a conversation.
Could be the fixer.
Yeah. I'll start charging an introduction fee. Although I've done that for a couple of people actually, not thinking, and I've gone, oh, hey, Arj, this is so and so. They're looking for some information, and I end up leaving myself in the chat, but like just not thinkingly. But then the notifications will be going off like I don't need to be in this conversation. I've just left it sat here for hours, pinging away, not even paying attention to what's going on. So. Lost my train of thought. So yeah, if you need an introduction making, give me a shout. Otherwise, head on over to rollingthunder.xyz and they've got the information. There's a link on their page to get the info there. But certainly if you're a UK player, take a look at the Manchester, see if you can get yourself to Manchester on March the 10th. I'll be there. And we've got a very hard to find over here Super Spies set as the first prize. So that is awesome.
Rare as hen's teeth, that.
Yeah, they are difficult to get a hold of over here. Although you might have seen folks on the blog this week, Stark Industries has arrived in the UK and no Super Spies. So if you've not yet seen the Stark Industries cards, I threw a couple of photos up of them on.
Yeah, check out the blog.
Yeah.
I
suppose that's another bit of community focused news. Go take a look at them if you've not seen them yet. I'm really off my game tonight. Can you tell?
Yes, mate, I can actually. Sorry to say.
Yeah, it's all right. It's one of them. I'll get it back, I'm sure.
You've got to have a few mediocre ones so that the good ones sound better.
Yeah, that's right. They can't all be winners, can they? Yeah, I am a little off my game. I swear, I think it's just that drive home mashed my head tonight. I can't get it together because I got home late, so I didn't have me kind of 10 minutes of quiet time. I went straight into dad mode. And then I was rushing to get a bit of dinner and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then in a very strange occurrence, you were messaging me saying I'm ready early, which I've never known you to be.
I'm always early.
In fact, that's 2 weeks in a row now. You were early last week as well.
I'm on point.
Yeah. I've kind of got in the habit of I've allowed your late behaviour to become the norm. So I've kind of got used to having half an hour more than actually our appointed get-together time.
I'm like Gandalf.
You're like Gandalf.
Phrase, isn't it, from The Lord of the Rings? I'm never late nor am I early. I arrive just when I need to, or something like that. You can quote that. That's just from the movie.
Yeah, that was a tremendous impersonation.
I am Ian McKellen. Can you not recognise my voice?
Yes.
I'm doing an arm movement as well. I'm not quite sure why.
Yeah.
But,
you shall not pass. And on that note, we'll move on to the next segment, shall we?
Let's go.
Let's go. Yes, welcome back, boys and girls. And for this next little section now, we've kind of separated it a wee bit from the community focus. Andy and I are just going to take a few minutes to talk about our involvement in the CR Game Room Invitational Tournament and have a little look back at how that went for us.
Yes, indeedy. We both had 3 games before we inevitably came a cropper.
No, I had 4.
Oh, yeah, of course you did.
That's right. I did.
So, as I was saying, I had 3 games. Chris had 4. You got into like the top 8 or something, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I was in the top 8.
As we're recording this, it's still going on. I don't think a winner has been found. You know, it's one of those things that once you get knocked out, you're not really that interested anymore.
I've been following along.
I'm guessing that's the case.
They're into the semi-finals now, I think.
Are they? Or finals?
Well, they've had a losers bracket and a winners bracket, haven't they? So
it's all very American.
Yeah, there were 16 competitors in total, and at the end of round 1, those 16 competitors got separated into a losers bracket and a winners bracket, and the losers bracket had an extra round to play to catch up with the winners bracket. So, as I understand it right now, there are 2 losers bracket matches to take place. Then a face-off between those 2 winners, and whoever's the last man standing will face off against the winner at the top bracket, I think. But as I said in the last segment, I don't really get the brackets, so that is an idiot's interpretation of what's going on.
Need some Rip Thunderstone input there and how that works.
Yeah, we need somebody's input because I've got no idea what's really happening. But yeah, it's I had ups and downs, highs and lows with this. I went 2-2 overall through the event. And the 2 losses, once you wrapped your second loss, that was the knockout point. I was playing a Batgirl Seething Corruption Ort Knob combo. That was my win condition. So the idea was to get my Ort Knobs out, fire off Seething Corruption, ping a load of my enemy's dice with Batgirl, clear the field, give the knob a massive boost and get him fired across the field for big damage. That was my ultimate aim. With the Poison Ivy that does a point of damage, lose life, in fact, when an opposing non-villain character gets KO'd for a little bit of gravy.
Yeah, this is a good knob ring team, wasn't it?
Yeah. I wondered if you were going to squeeze something in there.
Oh,
hey!
Cheeky.
Yeah.
That's it, James. Yeah. Woohoo, knockers.
Oh dear. People must be listening to this going, these 2 just basically sit on their own in the house with a headset on, entertaining themselves.
And the listeners.
And the listeners, indeed. All 10 of them. So that it went dreadfully wrong for me. I mean, I've said, if you watch the YouTube video coverage and you take a look at some of my comments on the Discords and Facebooks, I misjudged the meta. The reason I went for a mass-based team, I wanted to use Raven and the Ring of Magnetism, operating somewhat under the false assumption that the meta was going to be very board clear driven. Staff of the Forgotten One, Breath Weapon, Surtur, that was going to be
Ultraman, Venerable Dreadnought.
Yeah, absolutely. Venerable Dreadnought, yeah. We'll talk about that one more in a minute. So I loaded up on Raven, stop my mass cards getting targeted, the Ring of Magnetism to take the wind out of the sails of things like Kryptonite, and the Venerable Dreadnought range attacks. I put the rare green Devil Mask that brings your characters back in at level 3 if they're KO'd. all utterly convinced that's what I was going to be looking at, And then right out of the gate in the first round, a Beholder in Prison team just annihilated me.
Yeah, Laurier pretty much just dropped his cax and took a big old dump on you.
Yeah,
playmat.
Yeah, absolutely. It was horrible. It was a really dreadful play experience. I was just like, because that kind of frustrating moment when you're like, there really is nothing I can do. There really is nothing I can do. I'm just rolling dice for the sake of it here. You know what I mean? But I'd recommend going and having a look at our special features commentary video because I share some deeper thoughts as to my meta misjudgment. But things then picked up for me because I beat the next two competitors I faced, didn't I, Andy?
You did indeed. It was your next guy. It was Dan, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dan Lowe. So relatively new to the game. Had a really fun, tricksy little team. I mentioned this on the last episode with the Collector and was it Doppelganger or Mimic?
Doppelganger,
yeah. And this whole idea of kind of just like sort of tricksily pinching stuff off my team, which was really fun. But I managed to kind of outmaneuver it. It just couldn't keep up with the damage I think I was doing with the knob and stuff, which was fun. And then the third player that I played
was me.
Yeah, MOD Face Off.
Was indeed.
I mean, the video of that we put up on YouTube is exceptional. I think that's possibly some of the best Dice Masters YouTube work that you'll see this century.
Don't. So I have to apologise with the video. Obviously, I was concentrating. You can tell by the long silences, but I forgot to switch the camera at the end of each turn. So you get what I'd like to describe as a Chris's point of view of the game. Or I suppose my point of view of the game.
Yeah, what you were watching, because through Andy's round, all you had was a shot of my playmat while I waited for him to take his
Me to play, yeah. It's art house. It's an independent film.
I kid you not, though, man. Somebody actually messaged me and said, "Did you? This must be our reputation preceding us. Did you do that intentionally to troll the audience?" That's what I legitimately got asked.
Of course, it was not a mistake. It was completely intentional.
It really wasn't. Wasn't. Yeah, it was just our technical incapability of using it.
So,
yeah.
But I'm going to take over your description because you're going to be at bias on your side. So for our game between each other, I had to play a team that you have basically built to beat my team.
Yeah.
Will I be right in saying?
Yes, I think so. I mean, I did have a feeling that Ultraman was going to be around, although not entirely about Ultraman. Like you say, Venerable Dreadnought and Staff of the Forgotten One were on my mind as well, and Breath Weapon.
And we also had a good couple of evenings where I told you how to beat the team as well.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
do you remember that? So it was an uphill struggle.
And we went through a few nights of playing over Hangouts, me and you, where your team didn't fare particularly well at all against mine, did it?
No, not at all. So it was. I got the second game off of you, didn't I? So I had to pivot and try and work out what I could do differently to beat you. And I was close. I think I was very close in that last game. I think when I look back at it, there was a turn, 2 turns before the end of the last game where if I hadn't have PXG'd and left something so I could have used my Superior Reg, right, then I'd have got through like 4 or 5 damage from the Yuan-Tis, which may have swung it. I don't. Obviously, you never can tell because obviously you've then done something completely different, so it could have gone.
Yeah,
but
I've not been back and rewatched it actually.
That was a turning point on my end where I did that, and you were on like 6 life, and I think I could have got 4 or 5 or something, and knocked you down that turn quicker. May have made a difference. So it was good that it was. I mean, it's 2 hours bloody long, isn't it? It's not like your first game.
No.
That was it, or my game against James, which I'll go through in a minute, which was quite brutal.
Yeah, well, if you've got the patience to sit through it, please do. I'd encourage you to do so. I think I make some fabulous conversation to the silent finger wiggling that was going on across the table from me.
Oh, my brain hurt at the end of it.
Yeah, the language is a bit mucky, I'll warn you. I definitely let a few F-bombs go.
I did.
At displeasure at my rolls and whatnot, yeah. But
so
I thought in your defence, mate, those pivots that you decided to put in were tremendous choices.
Yeah, I mean, it was the unblockable Yuan-Ti, Superior Reg, buy-in one against many, and the unblockable Merlin. That's what I had to kind of work with, because Ultraman's not going to be able to do anything with his targeting. So I was just trying to cycle them through and get through you with that damage.
But I think the thing about it is, as a pivot, is that in the instance where you needed it, playing a team like mine, the pivots were super useful. But in the grand scheme of things, they also supported your core win condition when you didn't need to pivot. So having the ability to fix your sidekicks, for example, to bolts when you needed them, to buy Yuan-Tis and Kryptonites and whatnot, and the ability to use the attune on the Yuan-Ti when you were firing off your actions. So it's like they served the dual purpose very well, I think.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so then after you wiped me out of the competition, who did you play next?
I went on to play our man DM Armada, who was playing a Manta Collector villain control build. I'll not say too much at this point because I don't know whether by the time this episode goes out on Monday whether he'll have got the video of our games up, so I'll leave a little bit of mystery there. But spoiler alert, he kicked my ass. Actually, that's not fair.
No, it was a good hour and a half, wasn't it? So it was.
Yeah, I mean, my team has tricksy things. I was able to do a few manoeuvres, but at the end of the day, there was a certain element of Steve's team that I just couldn't keep up with. And I recommend you check out the video on DM Armada's channel when he puts that up to see what happened there. And we've got plans to do some special feature commentary on that as well. So I'll give you a bit more insight into what was going on in my head as the game was going on.
That'd be exciting. I didn't get to see that game. I was otherwise engaged.
Sure, yeah. And then your game with James, that was your second round game, wasn't it?
Yeah, so what I was playing Ultraman team. It was a little bit different than the one that I won Nationals with. I don't know if I've mentioned that. I did win a Nationals tournament. But there's what's that basic action from the Warhammer set? The one that makes... If you only do one damage when you attack. Static field. So static field, with that out, if you're doing the old Ultraman trick with the front line, you're going to trigger that. I mean, the only reason I can think that card exists is to stop Beholder and Ultraman, because I don't know why you else would use it. So with that around, I thought, well, I'm not going to go for that again, because if that's there, it's just going to shut it all down. So I went for... one with direct damage, one that's similar from, I think Michaela won a PDC with it a couple of years ago, which uses one against many and Superhero Registration Act. So as soon as you got Ultraman out, you use the Kryptonite, you pull dice through with Superhero Reg to hopefully pull through another Kryptonite. You fire off one against many, doing damage. If you've got, back in those days it was Storm, but now obviously the 2-cost Yuan-Tis are a more economic choice. Start pinging away damage with a tune, one for using the Ultraman, the one for using Kryptonite, and then for the 4 basic actions. So potentially you're doing 5 damage with a tune, plus at least 2 with one against many. And if you can get 2 or 3 Kryptonites through, you're pretty much there.
Yeah.
So first game I think we spoke about before, which was against Troy. He used my Parallax to great success and finished himself off with that. So that was the win. Next game was against James, who is still, I think he's still undefeated in the tournament at the time of us recording this. Yes, he's got a nasty team with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Red Dragon, where when it attacks, you knock out all sidekicks there, and he gets +2. I think it's +2 for each sidekick knocked out in that way, so he's filling up with sidekicks. And then he's using a basic action called Fighting, that when one character gets knocked out on your side, one gets knocked out on the other side. So you can clear your field off of whatever's there and swing through with massive dragons. And I fared all right, actually. I took a game off of him there as well. Do check out the video, which is on James and Zach Play Dice Masters. It's not too long, but I don't think I put up a bad showing. I think it all comes down to the last 2 rounds where my bag management wasn't quite right. His was very tight, so he was getting his Ring of Winter and his dragons around nice and quick. And put my hand in the bag. I think it had like a couple of Kryptonites and a Yuan-Ti and then 4 sidekicks. and I drew out 4 sidekicks, so I couldn't kick into the Ultraman, couldn't do anything.
We've all been there.
And then the next turn, I got James's big dragon in my face, and that was the end. That was me in the losers bracket next to you
for the MOD face off. Yeah.
And that brought my invitational experience to a close. And to be fair, I only got into it by moaning and whining that I wasn't in it in the first place. So probably best, the best all round.
Yeah, but it was a good chance to get together with some guys online, play some games in a format that...
You don't like it, do you? You don't like Golden Escalation?
I don't, actually. And all the Invitational really did was reinforce my dislike of the format, if I'm being honest. That's no comment on the other players. They made the best teams that they would make out of the format. That's just the way of things. It all ties in with my thoughts way back when we sort of reviewed the format a fair few episodes ago now. I think the globals needed to go too.
Yeah, it would make a different setup, certainly. Although one thing to notice in this Invitational, I don't think there's one team that's the same. So there's a wide variety of setups and win cons and ramp and all defensive pieces.
Yeah,
there's certainly no, bard spam or, you anti-repeat or fix it. It's all different. It's all...
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think if we were to sit back and look at the team lists, we'd see that the same cornerstones are being relied on time and time again. Blue Eyes, PXG are 2 that spring to mind immediately.
Yeah, there's not many chalkboards in there, is there?
No, I think chalkboard's one of them that you have to be really on top of your game to use that global so well that it doesn't benefit your opponent as much as it does you.
Yeah.
I mean, my PXG annoyed the hell out of me because even though it helped me ramp up to the stuff I wanted to buy, all my opponents, if they didn't already have it themselves, of course, were using it to great effect for their own teams. And I found that a source of great frustration. I'm just like, PXG just makes the game so different, but not in a great way, I don't think. And while some players will get quite a high level of satisfaction out of the challenge of the third turn, one-shot kill, speed dice masters that PXG brings the game to, I just find that really unengaging. And that's the format's doing that. The format has put us in that position. And I know what you're saying about the differences in the team, but I still think it's very narrow at the top. There's something about it. Yeah.
I like it. I don't like the fact that I didn't win it, but it's competitive high end with a lot of choice.
Well, that's just one we'll have to agree to disagree on.
Fair enough.
All right, so there you go, folks. That's our look back on the Invitational tournament that we took part in. Please do go over to the YouTube channel, take a look at the videos that are already up, and then keep your like and subscribe to receive the further posts and the special features commentary on our matches that are coming down the pipeline in the coming days and weeks.
Definitely, and if you haven't tried online Dice Masters before, get your webcam sorted and try it out. It's cracking.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Okay then, mate. On to the next segment. Yes, welcome back, boys and girls. And so this next segment now, well, I suppose to give some context, this next segment was initially in our little kind of planning pre-production conversations was going to be an update on our attempt to play this kind of MOD modern format thing where we're only using the campaign boxes and team packs from the Avengers Infinity release. However, it's kind of moved a little bit, and we will do that update, we promise, but it's kind of moved a little bit because an interesting thing happened while we were having a go at playing this format the other day.
Yeah, I mean, we might have already spoken about the new MOD modern games that we're playing in the intro, but there was one card in particular that stood out.
Yes, stood out, but possibly not for the right reasons. I don't know. I don't know where you're going to go with this, but an interesting thing happened. So we'd like to talk about the Venerable Dreadnought.
Let's give it the rundown.
Yeah, have you got it? Is it open in front of you?
It's not open in front of me. I've got the actual card in front of me.
All right, yeah, go on then. Give us your reserve pool read-through moment.
Venerable Dreadnought. Custodian of Knowledge. He's a 4-cost shield character with the Imperium and Space Wolf affiliation. His ability reads, whilst Venerable Dreadnought is active, your active character dice have range 1. He's max 2, and his stats are 1, 3, 4, 1, 4, 6, and 2, 5, 7.
Big arse on that guy.
And it just...
Yeah. So let's assume for a moment that we have talked about it a little bit in the intro, even if it's not the full segment. So I have built a team that involves KOing and recycling the Hawkeye that does his level as damage to the opponent. And you've built a team that is a seething corruption team about clearing the field and coming over for a big hit. I'd say that was accurate, wouldn't you?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. With Grey Hunter to trigger seething corruption, and then go over with whatever else is there.
Yeah, absolutely. But we both put that particular Venerable Dreadnought on our team. Now, I don't know about yourself, Andy, but because I think it probably ties more into your strategy than it does mine. But I put it on specifically because I was like, well, there's a good chance that Andy's bringing some range. I better have some defense against range. What better defense is there than having my own range?
Yeah, I mean, I popped it on there because I heard a lot about it and thought, well, might as well give it a go and see what it's all about.
Yeah, sure. And it works pretty good with seething corruption as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, you attack and then...
Yeah. So I think you had more reason to put it on your team than I did. I just threw it on because I was like, right, this is going to be my range protection. So we played the first game through. I think I won that one. I can't remember. Did I win the first one?
You did, yes. I don't think either of us bought Venerable Dreadnought in that game.
Yeah, it wasn't in the story at that point. Neither of us bought it. So I got my big Gazgul Thracker out super quick using Kree Captain Global and some other janky stuff to get it out. Then I started buying... It wasn't Ring of Winter.
Did you not have Ring of Winter?
It's not in one of the campaign boxes or team packs, is it?
No, you're right.
I haven't got the team, actually. So the team that's out on the table is my Global Escalation team.
It's my feated bloat drone Global.
Oh, yes, I totally abused your fetid bloat drone Global, didn't I? Yeah.
That's it.
That's right. Got him out nice and quick, and I hammered you with the Hawkeye over and over and over again and killed you in a couple of rounds. But then in the second game, you bought your Venerable Dreadnought, so I bought my Venerable Dreadnought. And then we had
2 hours later.
Yeah, this card is ridiculous. It's boring and stupid, and it's yet another example of a ridiculous mini game that you have to play before you can play the real game. That's where I'm at with it.
It went on forever.
It was so boring, and in the end, we were both just buying characters, characters we didn't even need nor want in terms of winning the game necessarily, just to see who could get the edge on having more characters in the field and therefore have a bigger range shot. It went on for ages. I think it may have been, I don't think that one game in the best of 3 we played was the whole 2 hours, but I think it was a big chunk of it.
It was a big chunk. And the third game, we kind of unspoken gentleman agreement, neither of us bought it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what happened, because I definitely thought in my head, I'm not buying that thing again. What a boring game we just had.
Sleep.
Yeah, it was long, it was boring. We were both getting tired because it was like midnight or something. So I was like, I'm not buying that. But I never said it, nor did you. And you went, oh, I'm not buying that. I mean, to be fair to you managed to do it with your Grey Hunter, didn't you?
Yeah, no, the team's coming together nicely.
Yeah, the Force Attack Global was the little coup de grace.
Yeah, Force Attack, and then bounce Grey Hunter off of it.
Yeah. But yeah, the Venerable Dreadnought. So everybody knows, or certainly regular listeners to the podcast or readers of my blog will know that I get very frustrated when we have these kind of distracting mini games where everyone has to go and kind of play a game over here to deal with a thing before they can go play their actual game where their win condition is in the story. And it was just round after round of, all right, you've just killed all my stuff with your range. I'm going to re-roll all that stuff, field it, attack with it, and kill all your stuff. So you then re-roll it all, field it, attack with your stuff, and we were just waiting for one of us to get the edge, which I think you did in the end. I whiffed a load of characters at one point, and that was the turning point, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think I poured all the range into your Venerable Dreadnought, got rid of it.
That's right, and then I didn't roll him.
The roll.
Yeah. But even then, so this is where the card gets more ridiculous, because that Venerable Dreadnought is not easy to shift.
No, 4, 6, 7.
Yeah, we both at various points in the games had him at level 2 or level 3 with a 6 or a 7 defense. It was like, well, I've just got to buy characters now and roll them in and get them in the field so I can have a range of 7 to get rid of that venerable dreadnought. Which is where I think you did have that little bit of an edge because you had more cheaper characters than me, I seem to recall.
Yeah, or pinging him for 4 and then attacking with a 3. Well, no, force attacking him.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And then pinging the range onto him and then the rest going onto whatever I block with.
Yes, yeah. Now, highly competitive players, the best of the best, will say that it's good play strategy to put your opponent in a position where they have to roll their dice more. Give them tough decisions, make them roll their dice more, interfere with their strategy so that they have things like fielding costs they need to deal with that they didn't want to have to deal with, and so on and so forth. So I get it, but I think there was just something really boring and repetitive about the whole experience of playing with that card.
It reminded me of Green Goliath against Green Goliath, when it was just the maths, the to and fro maths was just a pain in the backside. And one of the reasons why I put in Jade Giant in most teams so that I could just KO Green Goliath when it started, so I didn't have to bother doing the to and fro maths on each defence, and that takes 2, so that takes 2, and then that takes 2, and then that takes 2, and yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know from our non-recorded private conversations that Green Goliath is one of your absolute hate cards.
You love to hate it, or love it and hate it.
Yeah, like to use it, don't like to be on the receiving end of it. But you've probably gone less on record with, unlike my salty, patented True Mr. 6 rants, which I think this segment might actually be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Venerable Dreadnought is the new Shriek.
Now, I'll tell you who the new Shriek's going to be. That's Scarecrow in the Justice set. Have you seen him?
Remind me.
So I think he's a 3 cost, maybe a 4 cost. And when he's fielded, he targets a character, and that character then costs 3 more until he's taken out the field.
What, to purchase and to field, or?
Hang on, I'm looking him up now. So we're now tangenting where I'm like pre-salty ranting about a card now. That's not even connected to the card that we were here to pre-salty rant about in the first place. It's
a Dice Masters related tangent, so
yeah, sure.
That's a step up.
Yeah. Do you know, I was saying online just the other week in one of the chat rooms, I'm not really that grumpy and down on stuff. I don't like to criticise WizKids, and yet here I am once again. It's an unbalanced card. It doesn't cost them much for its defence and for what it does, and it made the game really boring. And so, Troy, by all means, I'll expect an instant message or a Discord post calling me out within the next 24 hours, and you're welcome to do so because it will be fair comment. The Scarecrow, just to go for a bit of a tangent, 3 cost mask. When fielded, name an opposing card, replacing all previous choices. While Scarecrow is active, dice on that card cost 3 more to purchase. And his stats are 113, 124, 136.
Oof.
Yeah.
Top face is going to be horrible to shift.
Well, yeah, a couple of things, though. He names the card, not the dice.
Right.
So he can target actions as well as characters.
Flipping heck.
Yeah, exactly. You see where I'm going with this? And
name your own basic action after you bought, like if you're buying investigation.
I don't think you can target basic actions, can you? I think that got bottomed out. I think there's a rule in relation to blob somewhere along the line that has set the precedent for that. However, if you've got an opponent on the other side of the field that, I don't know, is going to make big use of... There's all sorts of stuff, isn't there? Well, you might not get him out fast enough to interfere with a Ring of Winter, but you might stop him buying a load of buying their Staff of the Forgotten One, or Avengers ID card.
Avengers ID card, yeah, the Grey Hunter that I've been playing around with. That would be a pain if it was a 5 cost.
Well, that's it, yeah. So your opponent's 3 cost becomes a 5 cost. Your opponent's 3 cost becomes a 6. Well, everyone can add 3 to the purchase cost, but on the surface, you're like, all right, yeah, that could be good. I could really make use of that. But adding 3 to the cost of something is going to be disgusting.
Yeah.
Especially something you buy in your first turn.
Yeah, and stuff that you're buying multiples of. Your Zarina, your Guy Gardner, stuff like that's going to be a pain in the... Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we all know how much of a pain Oracle was just making globals cost one more. Now, Shriek, her defense numbers meant that even though she bothered the living hell out of me, which we all know, this will bring me back round to Venerable Dreadnought now, this in a minute. Things like the Batarang, she wasn't so expensive that you couldn't Danger Room Global her off. I mean, it cost you 3, but you could do it, you know what I mean? This guy's defense numbers are 3, 4, 5. So if you get him out on level 3, for 1 fielding cost, might I add, you can just camp out and go, you ain't ever buying that Surtur. Let's see you ramp up to 10, biatch. Do you know what I mean? Oh, you need 2 of those 2 costs. Pfft, not today. No. You know what I mean? You'd have to use your Kree Captain Global just to negate his effect.
Oh, Christ, yeah.
So, coming back to Venerable Dreadnought, those defense numbers are a real problem. Especially when you compare his purchase cost. I think he's undercosted at 4 for what his game text does, and then his ability to just sit in the field and be a real pain in your opponent's backside. So Venerable Dreadnought, I think it's actually a really boring card. Is the crux of all that. I had my own Venerable Dreadnought, so I wasn't like, Venerable Dreadnought is spamming me, which I like to say to pull forward every Tuesday night. Spam. But it's very difficult to shift. It's low costed for what it is. You can buy it in your first turn if you go second, or your second turn, if you go first. And the impact it has on the game. And if your opponent's got range, or the Venerable Dreadnought doing the same thing, you just get this really boring, repetitive back and forth. Who's going to be the first one to shake a character loose? So don't play it, folks. Yeah, you've just sat back quietly there now, going, "Oh, I've lit the fuse. I'll just let this go."
yeah.
But watch that Scarecrow.
There you go. You've heard it here first. Maybe, probably not. We're usually the last ones. But Venerable Dreadnought. Powerful, but boring.
Powerful, but boring indeed. That's exactly it. Yeah. We've got a modern event coming up for the one big weekend, Fanboy 3 on the 10th of March. And I'll just be like, everyone's going to play Yuan-Ti or Venerable Dreadnought. Boring. I'll figure it out. I was joking last night. I said, well, basically, I'm just going to build a team that can't win, but will just be really annoying tech against Venerable Dreadnought and Yuan-Ti. And my whole intention will be to lose the entire day, but just to really irritate everyone who's brought Yuan-Tis and Venerable Dreadnoughts.
Oh, that's not very nice.
No, I'm going to be that guy. Well, I don't think it's very nice to be playing with Yuan-Ti Pure Worlds and Venerable Dreadnoughts. So there we go. Anyway, salty rant over.
On to the next segment.
Yeah, well, we'll do a proper segment on how we found just using the new campaign boxes.
Yeah.
Maybe next episode, when we've got a few more games in with it and tinkered with the teams a bit. But that just really stood out to us when we were playing the other night, didn't it?
Yes, it was. It turned game into quite a slog.
Boring. All right, on to the next segment then. Right then, folks. So here we are. It's the return of Andy's Q branch. And once again, just as the last Q branch was the case, I have no idea. I'm walking into this segment completely blind. Andy has been tinkering away in his crew branch. I'm led to believe that it's somewhat connected to the positive feedback and popular response we got from the global reverse collation game that we played a couple of episodes ago.
That's right, yes. It was a little bit too hard, so I've had to tinker away. I'm pretty much just robbing an idea off of the Chris Moyle show on Radio X, and that involves some talking backwards shenanigans. So apologies for just robbing an idea, but hopefully we'll make it Dice Masters related and interesting. So I've sent you over some audio clips.
You have, with strict instructions once again not to listen to them.
So there's there's 2 at the top. They're like our practice ones.
The 4-second ones.
That's right. And then the last 3 is one that's been broken down that we will not only ask you to do something with, but also our listeners as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, indeed.
This sounds very interesting. And how will the listeners get involved, or is that to be revealed?
To be revealed. So the idea, clip number 1 is a Dice Masters card, which has been recorded and then reversed.
Right.
what I want you to do is listen to it,
Yeah.
then try and repeat what you've heard,
Okay.
and then I'll reverse that and see if you can match the card title.
Right. So I play it, but I've got to say it backwards. Copy
You have
what
to
I'm
say
hearing.
what you hear. That's right. So I want you to have a listen, say what you hear, and then, as if by magic, we will. But basically, I'll edit it, and then next week we'll do it. But from the magic of podcasting, it will all be in one segment.
Right, I see. Okay, so and we're gonna and the game is for me to repeat it as accurately as possible, so that when you turn it around, I state the card name clearly.
Exactly. So the first two are for you to do to practice. We'll hear what you've said, and then the last three we will play, and you can say them again. And also, our audience can send in clips of them saying it backwards. It's easy enough to do. You get on your phone, you click on voice recorder, you say it, and then you fire it over to us, be it by Facebook message or WhatsApp or the variety of ways you can send stuff these days on your phone. And then we'll collect them, reverse them, and play them on the next episode.
Okay, this will be really disappointing if nobody else plays.
Yeah, I know. So we don't have a massive response to our quizzes usually, but I'll throw the gauntlet out there to who listens. Pull forward, TJ.
Yeah,
anyone else?
James and Zach surely want it. Zach will be up for it. I'm calling you out, Zach. Let's see if you can do better than me. Of course, any of the guys over at WizKids, like Jimmy and Justin, you're welcome to play as well.
Yeah, you've got us on repeat. Yeah, everyone out there, get involved. Ping us over the reverse wordings, and then I'll flip them, and we'll see what on the next episode we can find out and what we've got.
All right then. Okay, so these the first two then, they're just practices. They're not counted towards my final attempt.
No, but we could still.
We'll just get into it. So I play this now, and then I'll try and copy it.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I'm all set. I'm ready.
Ja, menu. Så korstes nachher.
Ja, menu. Så skal då.
That was just worth it.
Did it sound particularly accurate?
It sounded like you were drowning.
Do you know what I thought I sounded like? I thought I sounded like a Klingon.
Yes.
That's what I thought I sounded like. All right, well, there you go. How did you know I'd be game for this? Like, I wouldn't go, I'm not doing that.
You never know.
Yeah, because I am just a daft idiot who'll do this. Right, I'll move on to number 2 then. I'm just going for one attempt on all of them. I'm go big or go home, innit?
All right, mate.
All right. Well, unless I need to listen to it over a couple of times just to get the sounds. But here, number 2 now then.
Number 2.
Arrest for sauce. Scalera.
All right, scout slows, scalera. Hang on, let me listen to it again.
Arrest for sauce. Scalera.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm sticking with it.
Right, cool. So then the next one's, it's one title that's been broken down nice and easy to try and really help with you and obviously the listeners. So crack on.
In fact, these last 3 look really short.
Yeah, it's because it's one, but it's just been chopped up into 3.
Right, so it's one title. This is just one card divided into 3 separates, then, is it?
Yeah.
Whereas the other 2 were the full card and subtitle, were they?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Right, so number 3.
Snalling He's not.
All right, I'm going to have to listen to that one a second time. Let me just take my headphone ear off. Wait.
Snalling He's not.
Staladnip, head snap. Hang on, let me have another go.
Snalling He's not.
Staladnip, head snap. Yeah, all right, okay.
Okay.
Number 4.
Says you have see.
Oh, wait, yeah, I'm going to have to take my headphone off again. One sec.
Says you have see.
Head suas krasny. You are a dickhead. Right, hang on. Ear off again. One sec.
Hayal Sam Siot.
Ayel Schnösnam Schnjot.
Hayal Sam Siot.
Ayel Schnösnam Schnjot. Alright, let's see what happens with that then.
Perfect. So we'll put in a suitable sound effect in now. And when we come back, I'd have reversed them.
Super cool. I might put the little Batman in there.
But now.
About now.
Okay. But now.
Now. So, through the miracle of modern recording technology, we are now here 2 weeks later. And Andy,
Indeed.
You've taken my backward speak and done some stuff to it, I understand.
I have indeed. So the two testers, as it were, have been reversed back. If we go with the first one, and
Okay.
I've sent you over the clip.
And
this is
will
where it should be.
Rip Hunter's chalkboard. When am I?
So that's what it should have been.
Rip Hunter's chalkboard. When am I?
Okay, yeah.
When am I?
So the next one is my
and then
attempt.
This is what your attempt was.
When am I? Is that that's not the reverse speak then? Is that the reverse forwarded?
That's your reverse forwarded.
When am I?
It didn't come out too well, but when am I is quite clearly a farmer/pirate version of yourself saying it.
Let me just listen to that with me earpiece off. Hang on. When am I? When am I?
When am I?
All right, okay, so that one didn't go so well. Let's check this next one out then. So this was the second tester that we did, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is what it should have been.
All right, let me just hang on. I need to take my earpiece off.
Parallax. Source of terror.
Right, okay. So this is my version. Parallax. Source like terror. That's not too bad. The parallax is pretty clear. Hang on, let's do that again. Parallax. Source like terror. Source axe terror. Alright, so that didn't I've failed to crack that any better than I did in the original. Guess the backwards speak.
I think it sounds quite good.
When am I? Oh dear.
So if you guys out there want to have a go at the end of the podcast, so instead of the blooper, so nice and readily available, all you need to do is listen to it at the end of the podcast, get your phone out, get voice recorder up, record yourself. Immediately you can click the button and then send it over to us, and we'll have a go and see how you sound reversing your reverse in the next episode.
Yeah, okay, cool. And I'm to put that, when I put the episode together, I'm to put that at the end.
Chuck it at the end so we can have the unveiling of yours along with the listeners, should they care.
Yeah, go on. Surely there's two or three of you out there who are up to the task of repeating some reverse speak to see how well you've done.
We'll find out. But if it all falls flat on its ass, then I hope you've enjoyed it. But if nothing else, you've uncovered Chris's pirate/farmer, heritage.
When am I?
When am I?
Oh, very good. Okay, until next episode then, folks. And sadly, folks, as all things must, this episode has come to an end. We hope you've enjoyed listening as much as we've enjoyed recording it this week. Please stay for after the final theme song, God Save Our Gracious Queen, for the global reverse escalation little tester thing that we're going to ask you to do. In fact, I don't know, do you all know that I usually put an extra little bit of podcast in after the? Maybe people don't know that. Perhaps they pack it in as soon as the orchestra starts. So yeah, that's it for episode 41. Come back for episode 42, where we'll continue our global reverse escalation fun times. We've got a team brew coming down the pipeline for you as well, and I'm sure the universe will give us something else to fill the space up with in the next 2 weeks.
Usually does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does have a habit of, we're at a bit of a loose end, providing us with something. In the meantime, as we've said many times this episode, because we're shameless self-promoters, head on over to the YouTube channel that we've just really kind of lent some focus to. Check out those games that we put up and the special features commentary. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Head on over to the BritRoller6.com blog to take a look at those Stark Industry cards if you've not already seen them. Otherwise, I've been Chris, aka True Mr. Six.
And I've been Andy, aka Sugar and Spice, and all things dice.
Yay! We'll see you in 2 weeks, folks.
Bye bye.
Snarling hina sestia have see